Tonight on Husky Update, Halloween at Northeastern, costumes, candy, and a live in-studio competition putting Huskies head-to-head for the best costume. Also tonight, changes to Northeastern's tutoring program. We break down what's behind the cuts and how students are responding. Plus, members of the Educational Freedom Project speak out about student representation and transparency across campus. And later, a sweet end to the show, inside Northeastern's Baking Club, where creativity and community come together. The stories that matter most, on campus and beyond. A special Halloween edition of the Husky Update starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Evelyn Lynn.
And I'm Elizabeth Chalmers.
And welcome to the Husky Update, your source for broadcast coverage here at Northeastern and around the world. Thank you for joining us on this Halloween night.
Today, millions of Americans turned out across the country to vote in local and state level elections here in Massachusetts. Somerville, voters decided on ballot measure number 3, which asked whether elected officials should be allowed to continue economic relations with companies that support, quote, Israel's apartheid, genocide, and illegal occupation of Palestine. Meanwhile, in California, voters are deciding on Proposition 50, a response to Texas's congressional Texas's congressional redistricting along party lines. The measure would allow California to redistrict outside of the normal census period in an effort to counteract any new Republican seats Texas might create.
Homecoming week is almost here, and Northeastern students are getting ready for a full lineup of events. On Thursday, November 6th, American rapper and singer-songwriter Flo Milli, along with Empress of, will take the stage at Matthews Arena for this year's Council for University Programs Homecoming Concert. Doors open at 6 and the show starts at 7. The concert follows other traditions like the Cup Black Man Showcase, Stuff a Husky, and the Homecoming Carnival.
Hurricane Melissa has carved a destructive path across the Caribbean, striking Jamaica as a Category 5 storm with winds of 185 miles per hour, then moving north to slam Cuba and the Bahamas. The storm has left widespread damage with power outages, flooding, and landslides cutting off entire communities. Melissa is now weakening as it nears Bermuda, but forecasters warn its outer bands could still bring dangerous surf and heavy rain along parts of the U.S. East Coast in the coming days. For your local Boston weather, my doppelganger has your full forecast.
Happy Halloween, Huskies. I'm sure you're all wondering what the weather will be like this Halloween weekend. Luckily, I'm here to give it to you. For all you trick-or-treaters out there, the weather this evening is looking pretty chilly with a low of 46 degrees. But the good news is we're not anticipating any rain like this morning, so your candy will stay dry. Now, as for this weekend, we're looking at a high around the mid-50s on Saturday and Sunday, and lows are in the low 40s. So remember to close your windows at night, Huskies. It's looking like a pretty dry weekend with a very low chance of rain. Looking at early next week, it looks like the rain does return at various times Monday and Tuesday. We're anticipating pretty consistent temperatures, but the lows might be dipping down into the high 30s, so I hope you all take care to bundle up. It looks like winter is coming. Stay safe out there tonight, Huskies, and remember the best Halloween treat is showing love to your local NUTV update.
Now, NUTV sports reporter Cassandra Joyce joins us live in studio with your full sports report.
This past weekend at Matthews Arena was electric, with the men's hockey team upsetting the number 7 ranked University of Denver Pioneers. Amin Hajibi scored his first career goal in the 1-0 victory, and junior goaltender Lawton Zacher laid it all out on the ice, making 35 saves to help secure a win for the Huskies. Northeastern Field Hockey clinched a CAA playoff berth with a win over Drexel Saturday and took home a senior day win over BU on Sunday. Men's hockey is currently playing BC, and women's hockey has an exciting matchup tomorrow at 3 against crosstown rivals, the BU Terriers. Monday marks the beginning of the women's and men's basketball season, so make sure to pop out to Cabot and Matthews to cheer on the teams. In professional sports news, on October 21st, the Women's Professional Baseball League announced the location of its first 4 teams. Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York, and right here in Boston. Also, baseball fans are buzzing as the World Series heats up. I went around campus to hear students' thoughts on the series and who they're rooting for this year. The 122nd World Series kicked off October 24th and has been nothing short of exciting. From the explosive 6th inning of Game 1 to the 6-hour and 39-minute Game 3, the series has had something for everyone. We asked Northeastern students who they thought were going to win, with mixed responses. Some students had no idea who was even playing.
Oh, I don't know who's playing in the World Series. I don't watch baseball.
I have no idea, honestly.
What are my options again? Who is playing in the World Series?
Some just picked a team.
I'm gonna go Dodge. I'm
gonna go with the Dodgers.
Why?
Just think they're just really good. I don't really follow baseball that much though.
Aren't the Blue Jays playing?
Yeah.
Then them.
Some were invested fans.
Go Dodgers!
Oh, yeah.
Dodgers.
Dodgers for sure.
I don't know anything, bro.
Toronto.
Why?
Because their offense is too good. And I think Shohei peaked in the already. I think he already played his best baseball this playoffs.
I'm a Yankees fan, so I hate both teams, but the Blue Jays, I think.
Why?
Because I think they're better. I like Vladimir Guerrero Jr., so.
And some were just a little confused.
Who's playing?
The Red Sox.
Game 6 kicks off tonight at 8 with Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the mound for the Dodgers and Kevin Gausman on the mound for the Blue Jays as they head back to Toronto. With the Blue Jays leading 3-1, Toronto could take home its first World Series win since 1993. For NUTV News, Cassandra Joyce.
Students are also talking about recent changes to academic support services. NUTV's Annie Jones looks into what these cuts could mean for students who rely on tutoring for academic support.
Through a partnership with NAC, the Northeastern Peer Tutoring Office pays students to offer free tutoring to other students. It helps struggling Huskies do better in their classes and puts some extra cash in the student tutors' pockets. But this year, the program has cut several previously offered courses. We dug deeper to find out why and to see how the cuts are affecting Northeastern students.
So last spring was my first and only semester tutoring through NAC. I was mainly tutoring Physics 1 for engineers. I had 2 regular students and I definitely was able to get to know them better. So it was kind of sad when I had one student who I tutored for almost that whole semester, and then in summer they cut out Physics 2, which was what she was going to take next, and she actually asked me for help with that course as well.
Tina Kondopoulos, the director of the Office of Peer Tutoring, said that the demand for free NAC tutoring increased this year, but their budget remained the same. So the office had to prioritize the most high-demand classes and cut out redundancies. Kondopoulos said that all of the classes they cut this year have free peer tutoring offered by other Northeastern programs. They worked with the College of Engineering and other groups last year to ensure that they offer both drop-in and bookable tutoring options before NAC cut any courses. For the courses that are still offered through the NAC program, Kondopoulos said they prioritize difficult classes, most often taken by first and second years.
I know they wanted to redirect people to the COE tutoring center, including the tutors, but at least from my perspective, I did try to apply to be a tutor for that, and they got back to me a month later saying they don't need more tutors.
Kondopoulos says the peer tutoring office feels comfortable with the courses they chose to cut and confident that the range of tutoring services offered by Northeastern outside of NAC will be able to help any students in need of it. But some NAC student tutors have still lost the classes they used to teach and will have to reapply to other programs if they want to teach them again. With NUTV, I'm Annie Jones.
The Educational Freedom Project has been busy since its first meeting in the Fens, which NUTV covered earlier this fall. The group recently released a report detailing findings from a survey of over 1,000 community members on transparency, representation, and campus policy. I spoke with members of the EFP about what they learned and what comes next.
Since its first meeting in the Fens, which NUTV covered in September, the Educational Freedom Project, or EFP, has made strides in its efforts to defend higher education. They most recently published a 30-page report outlining the findings from a survey of over 1,000 Northeastern community members, a town hall meeting, and a policy solution workshop they conducted.
So a lot of work went into this report. For me, one of the things that I was focused on was administrative transparency and student representation. So one of the statistics that stood out to me was that 95.8% of the people we surveyed said that students should be involved in decision-making about the university's mission, student code of conduct, and general campus policies.
Other key findings highlighted in the report include statistics on freedom of expression on campus and transparency from the university regarding ICE engagement. This survey's results also informed a petition that EFP members have been tabling and campaigning to have signed, now with over 2,000 signatures.
The petition lays out things that we want to change within Northeastern, especially concerning the attacks on higher education to protect students and students' rights to free speech.
This tabling, canvassing, and research is to back a piece of legislation that EFP hopes to present to the Student Government Association at Northeastern November 3rd. In the draft legislation, EFP addresses concerns about transparency on campus with clauses that state, quote, Northeastern will commit not to share any international students' personal and financial information with ICE as required by the City of Boston's Trust Act. And, quote, Northeastern will expand the information published on the Board of Trustees website.
We believe it's going to pass through the student government, and once it does, we're going to sit with the administration and we're going to negotiate. We're going to say, look, at all the work we've done, at all the student sentiment we've gathered, students want this, and we've put in a lot of work into this. You claim to want to defend Northeastern's mission, and we do too. Let's work together to do that.
But the EFP vision extends beyond Northeastern with broader goals for the future of their advocacy, goals that might soon bring them back to the Fens.
We're in the early stages of planning a rally in the Back Bay Fens to show support for our policies and our legislation once it passes. We think this is important because, as stated earlier, we're not just a Northeastern organization. We aim to be way broader, and the goal is just to empower students and to show them that, yes, there's a lot going on. We need to focus on our universities where we can have the most change, and the goal should be to change long-standing university policy.
In Boston, I'm Elizabeth Chalmers, NUTV News.
It was a possum celebration for one of NUTPD's most beloved members. Cooper, one of the university's community outreach dogs, celebrated his 5th birthday in the Egan Research Center with students and faculty. He wore a party hat, enjoyed a dog-friendly cake, and even showed off his Winnie the Pooh costume. Cooper was joined by Sasha and Bean, dogs from the Harvard and Boston University police departments.
In health news, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is suing Johnson & Johnson and Kenvue, the makers of Tylenol, alleging that they withheld information linking the drug to autism spectrum disorder. The lawsuit follows statements from President Donald Trump, who claimed that taking Tylenol while pregnant increases the risk of the fetus developing autism. However, medical organizations, including the World Health Organization, have said there are no reliable studies that support that claim. Both companies denied the allegations as baseless.
For some students, finding community on campus can be as simple as baking together. For this week's Club Spotlight, NUTV's Saloni Batia met with members of Northeastern's Baking Club to see how they're mixing friendship, fun, and frosting.
A lot of different stuff. We like to do a lot of collaborations like we did today with New Sacks. And we also like to do potlucks where people will bring baked goods that they've made from home and everyone gets to try. We did a cookie competition recently, which was super fun.
We had a chance to talk to President Tiffany Chen, who says she has seen this club grow over time.
So I was on eBoard last year, and that was the year we became an officially recognized student organization. So it was really nice to kind of have like very small meetings where we were just starting out, and then now we've had like really big meetings with like over 90 people.
This club has been a relaxing space where Northeastern students can enjoy free food and hang out with friends.
I like baking, and I like to build a community. I think for underclassmen, it's hard for them to bake when they don't have kitchens. So it's nice to provide a community where they can do baking related things.
Attendees also enjoyed the collaboration between NUSACS and Baking Club.
And I was not disappointed. They brought out all the stops. They had sample sourdough. They had the final product. They had the starter that you could try. The presentation that they gave was a really good mix of having like baking club and chemistry club. I think it was a
NUTV's Andrew Longo joins us now live in studio with your pop culture update.
That's right, Elizabeth. It's been a busy week in the world of pop culture, starting with Sean Diddy Combs, who has been moved to FCI Fort Dix Prison in New Jersey. There he will serve the remainder of his 4-year sentence for prostitution charges. Combs maintains his innocence on all charges. Over in the UK, Buckingham Palace announced this week that King Charles's younger brother Prince Andrew has lost all of his official royal titles, including his title as Duke of York, following a years-long controversy over his connection to Jeffrey Epstein. He will now be known by his legal name, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. And finally, if you're looking for something spooky to watch for Halloween tonight, Netflix has released the latest season of The Witcher, featuring Liam Hemsworth, who has taken over the lead role from Henry Cavill. You have to check that out. That's your entertainment update. Live in the studio, I'm Andrew Longo. Elizabeth?
Thank you, Andrew. Finally, NUTV spoke with campus clubs to see how they're celebrating Halloween this year.
Organizations find unique ways to bring the spooky season to life.
Buhas, the Bangladesh student organization, celebrated by hosting a spooky story open mic night.
Just knowing that we fostered like this community for like the Bangladeshis and stuff, they were able to like, instead of us presenting something and throwing something where we're just like doing an activity and hosting something, they were able to do something for themselves, and they're all jumping in, adding context, telling their own stories, their own lives, and I feel like it just brought everyone together in a sense as well.
We didn't get some of our packages for the event. Like, we were going to have more candy, we were going to have like flashlights. We didn't have any of that, but then people were suggesting, oh, we can just use our own flashlights from our phones, and it just made like everything feel a lot closer.
Cooking Club prepared Halloween-themed treats for their members.
I think it's just to get everyone excited for the holiday. I think it's nice to have topical meetings. It gets people more interested. Especially with Cooking Club, there's a lot of food and treats and things like that around the holiday, and so it definitely makes it easier. So we had a bunch of different Halloween candy. We also had some pumpkin pie, and then we made 2 different Halloween-themed mocktails. The Haunted Orchard, which was ginger ale and apple cider, and that had a cinnamon sugar rim, and then we did Dracula's Delight with a nice honey that was dyed red to look like blood on the rim, and that was cranberry juice and Sprite.
Cheese Club, known for its whimsical and timely themes, celebrated Halloween 2 consecutive weeks with candy and spooky cheese.
My idea of celebrating is being at Cheese Club. I'm a big fan of like Kit Kats and eating Kit Kats, an excuse to eat Kit Kats, and just like dressing up is fun. You know, I think we should dress up more. I'm working for 16 hours on Halloween, but hopefully afterwards I'm gonna go to a friend's party. I think tonight went great. Another successful Cheese Club. I went to the store and I looked for the orangest cheeses I could find, and I would say that I got a solid 2 out of 4 on orangeness.
Barcadas played an event that integrated their culture with Halloween.
Each of the teams had to find materials, and from those materials that they obtain, they create their own mythical creature based on our presentation on like the Filipino mythical creatures. Our second activity was mummy wrap race, which essentially we had a toilet paper roll for each team, and they just wrapped whoever they wanted to wrap for as fast as they could, and then whoever finishes the toilet paper first gets to hop up and down the stairs, and whoever comes back first wins. And then the third activity was trick or treat, where we sliced up some apples and onions and we covered them all in chocolate, and like the other team had to guess who had the onion, who's the imposter from that team. Especially since a lot of our members grew up here in the States, we wanted to kind of give them insight on what's going on back in the Philippines as well. So I think it's really cool to have both a fun and intentional GM. I love Halloween. This whole weekend I planned a different outfit for day and just super excited to hang out with my friends and see everyone's costumes.
NU Ballroom held one of its first events October 18th, an event they have every year where they teach newcomers how to dance.
We do a Halloween social every single year. This one was Minecraft Masquerade. So it was Minecraft, a masquerade ball, and Halloween themed. Oh, it was so much fun. It's always so much fun, but I really love dressing up and sort of getting into the spirit of it all. I mean, as someone that's dedicated to the team and the club, it's always great to see new people show up, learn something new, just have a good time. Even though it was a few weeks before Halloween, I think it was a perfect way to sort of get into the Halloween spirit, and it went great. Well, on Halloween night, I'm actually going to the men's hockey game. I'm in the pep band outside of ballroom dance, so I'm playing with the band, but I'm excited to dress up and cheer on the team.
From fun themes to festive events, students definitely made the most of the spooky season. With NUTV News, I'm Saloni Bhatia.
That's the news. The rest is up to you. Be sure to follow our Instagram page and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date with us. You can find tonight's stories in full at northeasterntv.com/news. I'm Evelyn.
And I'm Elizabeth. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again on Friday, November 14th. And happy Halloween, Huskies. Have a great night.